back with another BRM5 banger. Apparently, Platinum 5 have just dropped a reveal for this BRM5 Zombies game mode reveal. Or they dropped a game mode reveal for the zombies, whatever. Literally, I just sat down to eat some little pizza bites and stuff, some of that good stuff. But yeah, I literally just sat down, I saw this pop up, and I'm not gonna lie, they've been popping out with so many updates, it's almost unfair. Because it's like, if I even tried to make a video, it's just boom, here's another update about this thing. It's so hard to stay up to date. But anyway, that's something for another day. Now we got this video, and you're all able to see like my basically just first time reaction to this, because I've heard a decent amount about zombies, but a lot of just speculation and stuff. Nothing super concrete or anything crazy. I know a big reason for why Gen 4 even happened is because they wanted zombies to be a thing, but Gen 3 wasn't strong enough to be able to handle the amount of zombies they wanted. So I'm pretty interested, to say the least, to see what they're gonna bring to the table. Yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna run through it entirely just for the first time. I'm not gonna pause, I'm not gonna do anything, and then I'll dissect it later. Let's get started. Oh my, they're doing like the Raccoon City. Clean. What was that? Glock 17, or is that the, what was it called, like Model 23 or whatever? Got some drinks. Okay, because they did say there was gonna be, okay, I should be quiet. Hold on. They did say there are gonna be drinks and stuff though, so that's gonna be interesting. Or at least food, they said. Ooh, that map looks insane. Gunshots? Ooh. Okay. Okay, that's baller. If they're actually gonna pop out like that. Panzer did a great job on the audio so far. Even the Karaki on the trash. He's being careful, so I'm assuming noise is something that they're going to be very sensitive to. Well, that's a nice alleyway. Is that New York? Wait. They give me like really like hardcore New York vibes. What was that? 5v5 map. Oh, that reminds me of oh, what's it called? I'll bring it up on screen. Was it? Wait. Yo, okay, that's not okay. That's not okay. Okay, that's gonna be insane. Public alpha early June 2025. Ooh. Okay, let's go back through this real quick. Okay. So it looks like you might just start. I'm assuming you're just gonna start randomly. I doubt it's gonna be like one specific location. But if they really are going back to the BRM5 or BRM2 routes or BRM whatever routes, then there might be like a set spawn that you will spawn in. But I kind of doubt it. I feel like it's gonna be random. Let's just say you do spawn here, right? If they really want to stick it to BRM like 2 routes and all those other games. Okay, so again, okay, so it looked like, what was it? Let me go back a bit. So it was Grav Brew, which we've seen before. That's from the vending machines. So you got a couple of Grav Brews from there. So I guess that's one of the drinks you can get. And they did, again, they just recently added the weight system. So obviously, like, the food and stuff you carry is also going to weigh more. So right now he just has like 400 grams. That's drinks like 400 grams. Okay. Seems. See, okay, just a little thing to talk about with the weight system and everything, and especially how this is going to work. I'm a little bit concerned with the weight, how it is at least. Like, I wouldn't mind if they had different limits, or maybe even like skill tree for zombies or something similar to that. I'm just thinking, because I know we're supposed to be like special forces soldiers and stuff, which makes sense for the normal open world. But I'm wondering for zombies if we're going to be more so like normal civilians, or if it's going to be like more like we're all veterans and we were just living normally until this happened, and that's why we maybe start with like a lock or whatever, right? I'm just curious, like I wonder if it'd be a better idea to like have different amounts of weight that you could carry without being hindered, or maybe have something that could enhance the amount of weight that you can carry. Because I know in like BRM2 even there's like upgrades you can get to like your health and to a few other things. I can't really remember too much. I'm not gonna lie, I don't play BRM2 that much, but I know there's like things you can do to upgrade your health primarily, at least, right? And then there's other things you can get to allow you to carry more ammo, or have like or not carry more ammo, but like carry ammo boxes and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see if they have some kind of solution for how much you can carry. Because if a grav brew is gonna be 400 Gs, and I have to like, it also depends on like how necessary food is. Like maybe there's a lot of food everywhere, so you don't need to carry that much on you. Because more than likely you'll be fine unless you're like trekking through the woods for who knows how long, kind of thing. So I guess you have to plan out your routes, right? So depending on how they play it, it could be either like really strenuous, trying to carry food, ammo, heals, and all that at the same time, or it could be like not as bad as I think, considering like it does look like it's gonna be a city, so it shouldn't be too bad, but it's still like, it's just something that's in my head, like how bad is the weight gonna really get? They recently just did another update switching up how the movement penalties are when you have like excessive amounts of weight and stuff, which is good. Like right now how it is, it's like you can't, like if you have like over, I believe, well, I like tested it out, it was like 23 kgs, you can't really slide, like you're like really slow, but after that you don't get any slower, because I carried like 50 kgs of weight and it didn't really like affect me anymore. It's like there's a limit there, right? It seems like from the initial update to the newest update to everything, they kind of narrowed the gap between like how quickly you go from no movement loss to maximum movement loss. That seems to be around like the 15 to 23 kg area from what I've seen. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they integrate the weight system into this more survival system that they have for zombies. That's what I'm really curious about. But anyway, let's move on to the next little section. Let me see. So they got, is that Burger City? I don't know if I'm reading that wrong. B-U-R, is that a C-E-R or something city? That kind of gives me like Raccoon City vibes, so I'm wondering if they kind of took inspiration from that or not. Editing Ransom here. So we are actually in New York. I was a little bit confused about that initially, but it is literally said right there. So you're definitely in New York, and this place is a burger joint. I kind of got confused because all the shelving on the right side, you typically don't see that in kind of a burger restaurant of sorts, but that is confirmed. It's right there. I just completely missed it. Anyway, back to the video. There's a lot of trash everywhere. Like even inside the buildings and stuff, there's just trash everywhere. It's very curious to me because it's like, I'm just trying to think of like, why would there be that much trash? Because like it makes sense for like a zombie apocalypse, but at the same time it's like people kind of use, like they make the most of what they have even if it's trash, right? So it's kind of I'm kind of curious why there's so much trash, because to the point where it's like it's in the roads and everything. Like who's just putting it out there? Let me actually go back a bit. Let me go back a few seconds. Okay, yeah, this is definitely New York City from the cop cars. It's definitely like in that vibe. I don't know if there's gonna be like multiple zombies maps, or if the zombies maps gonna be like super duper extensive. But I'm assuming, for at least from what you can see, it's definitely at the very least from what we can see, it's definitely taking place in something like New York somewhere. I'm not really too familiar with New York or anything like that, so I don't know exactly where this could be, but somewhere around there. I can tell you that much at least. You can hear like, okay, what's it called? Empire State Building, maybe? I don't even know. I like the fog aspect of it though. The fog's nice. The buildings look really clean. I'm curious how many buildings are going to be enterable. I'm assuming it's going to be like maybe a few buildings, like the bigger. I'm assuming it's going to be like pretty limited. If anything, it'll be like for the bigger buildings, you can go into the elevator, it brings you to a certain level, and then you can actually go inside of it. I doubt they'll make it like every single level you can go inside. Like I doubt every building's going to be like something like the buildings we have in Ronograd City, right? So that's going to be interesting to see. The buildings look great. Even with the fog, you can still see like the outlines of the buildings and everything. That's really cool. The vehicles on the street all thrown about, the bikes, it's fantastic. It looks like weapons are just gonna be kind of thrown about. Like this isn't a gym, and that you just have an M4 just on the couch. So they're gonna be really just randomly placed, it seems. Unless that's just for like this video for whatever reason. But I'm assuming it should be like an example of what it's gonna look like, right? So that's gonna be interesting. And you can really hear like the difference. Like when he's walking around, you can really hear like the difference of trash to the floor to snow and stuff. They did a really good job on the sounds. Even the growls and everything. I'm really curious how Panzer did that. I wonder if he did that himself or he got something else to do that. But you can even hear like the glass like breaking, the shards and everything as he's walking on the floor. Like that's nice detail right there. He's not just like he was walking smoothly before, but now he's like taking steps, right? So again, back to the sound thing. I'm curious to see if the different materials that you're walking on will actually aggravate the zombies more, depending on how loud that material kind of amplifies your footsteps, if you will. And it looks like you can see one zombie in the back. These remind me of Those Who Remain. That's what it reminds me of. Those Who Remain is another game on Roblox. It's like another like zombie shooter kind of thing. You're supposed to survive as long. I think you survive up to like 15 waves, and you're trying to survive. It's basically a COD zombies. But I won't say COD zombies. It's different, but it's that general vibe, I guess. It's a really good game. But that's like the same vibe these zombies give me, because like they're simple like the ones in Those Remains, but they still have a lot of detail in terms of their sound, and I really like that. And now that brings up another question now that I think about it. I wonder what the like rest locations are going to be like the bases or the camps, or maybe you can make your camp or something. I'm curious how that's going to be and how that's going to be set up. Like I'm curious because they do have like the HQ system, right? That could just be a little thing just so people can get some extra money on the side without having to constantly grind out as much. Or it could be also another thing adjacent to the zombie mode, because there is a dock on the HQ which is broken down. You can't do anything with it, but either they're going to use that much later for naval stuff at some point, or maybe that might tie into zombies somehow. No idea, because I do know in BRM2 there is a, what's it called? I think AS. It's like the abbreviation. Was it like amphibious stationary thing? But it's like or is it amphibious assault ship? I think it's amphibious assault ship, something like that. And it's essentially like it's almost like a battleship, but solely for like helicopters and launching more amphibious attacks, I believe. Something along the lines of that. I'll probably be completely off, but something like that. And that's one of the spawn points in BRM2. So I'm curious if maybe there's going to be some kind of tie where it's like New York City's under attack. They sent the military came in on an AS, and they're sending support via that into the city kind of thing, right? And maybe you can grab supplies or whatever, bring that to the AS and have that transported out somehow. And maybe you'll be able to use like boats at this point or whatever. I'm not sure. Again, just speculating. But I'm curious if there's going to be some crazy tie like that. I'm just throwing things out there. All right, let's see what else I can see. A lot of environmental storytelling, which I really like. Hide at night. Ooh, wait. That's a big thing that I almost missed. Hold on. That's important. That is extremely important. They tried to gloss over that like I'd miss it. No. Let me see that. Hide at night. I almost missed it because I almost didn't understand it. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. I'm assuming it's gonna go with the kind of trope where I guess hordes will pop out at night, or at least it's more dangerous at night in general, which clearly it is. So that's gonna be very interesting. I'm so happy. I'm sorry that I'm gonna be like going off in little tangents constantly, but I'm so happy they're gonna be adding LMGs soon. For those who don't know, in the newest update, there was a little thing that they said where it's like, oh, okay, they were doing this, like they're doing the wait thing in anticipation for LMGs, because they're probably planning to put LMGs into the game right before they put zombies. At least that's what I'm assuming. It's probably gonna be like 7.9.5 or whatever, probably 0.3. I don't know how they do the thing. But something right before was like, oh, here's some LMGs for you to try out. They see what happens there, fix anything, and then 8.0 zombies. I feel like because there've been so many updates so much faster than I ever thought would be happening. Probably because like they spent so much time on just like in development for Gen 4 and stuff, that it just like updates this frequently feel alien to me at this point. Like it just feels weird where it's like I leave, do some homework, come back, and it's like boom, there's an update for BRM5, and it's like the weirdest thing to me because I've been playing this game for like basically like 5 years, right? But so much unnecessary time into it you don't even want to know, and it's so strange coming back to like consistent updates, or at least just like frequent updates. Something about it just hits so differently. Like I'm so happy for it, but it's just so alien to me. Like it's so strange, but I'm loving it. Where was I? LMGs, right? So LMGs for something like this would go crazy, absolutely insane. I'd love, like, I'm wondering how much cash you're gonna get per kill. That's what I'm curious about now. It's probably not gonna be much, but I'm wondering if it would be worth it to like go out with a group of friends, get to a nice choke point, and just have like a few guys with hundreds of rounds of ammo just lie down and just start dumping rounds into a massive horde and just hold out for as long as possible. I'd love to see that. Like that's what I was really hoping for, but seeing this, especially with how much zombies you see later on, like it's giving me hope. This is giving me a lot of hope. This is gonna be really good. This is getting my hopes up. This is nice. I like it. I like it so far. But yeah, the hide at night thing, clearly don't want to be outside at night. That seems like it's going to get much more dangerous, and it's a lot going to be like you're probably going to want to find some place to hide. And now that I say that, there's probably, I'm guessing again, I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of like safe house somewhere, but I'm thinking like smaller safe houses, right? Whereas like if you're stuck in the open, you can run into this place and be safe. Maybe not like that. Maybe it'll be better, or maybe there'll be another thing that you can do where it's like you run to a building, you can kind of like block off a little area for yourself. Like maybe you can place down planks and things to help barricade yourself into a room, so that way you're not entirely, like by yourself, or not by yourself, but like not entirely screwed. It's just little things I'm thinking of, because this could go in many, many different ways, and I'm really curious in like how much in the survival aspects are they gonna go into, how much, like how social is the game gonna like be when it comes to like interacting with players and fighting zombies and stuff, because they also did say, and yeah, please note there will be both a PvP or PvPvE survival game mode and a PvE zombie game mode, similar to original BRM games, not BRM5, which is very interesting. So PvPvE, so player versus player versus environment, which means it's going to be mainly PvP, and environment's going to be a secondary thing as a game mode. And it's a survival game mode. Oh, wait a minute, that could be insane. Okay, this is what I'm thinking for the PvPvE thing, is like maybe it could be like two teams facing off against each other, and then like they're trying to get away from zombies at the same time. Or maybe it could be in such a way where it's like it can be people fighting against each other, or they could team up, like maybe not in like any explicit way where it's like, yeah, they're actually like, okay, now you're on this team. Like maybe there's some way where they can both win, right? Like maybe because it says say PvPvE survival game mode, and depending on the way they structure it, it could be everyone fights together, or they choose to fight against each other for more money or something, right? Like maybe it's more beneficial if they both actually help each other out instead, because maybe you get more money that way, or or maybe not that you get more money, but maybe it's like you get a decent enough reward, but maybe fighting each other's more like better reward wise. I don't know. It's just an idea, or just a thing I'm thinking about. Anyway, and then what else? And then yeah, the PvE mode, which is basically just if it's like similar to original BRM games, which is just the basic thing that you'd expect for like compared to like BRM2 and whatnot. So that's interesting. Okay. So this is gonna be really good. This is gonna be fantastic. Let's see what else is in here. Gotta love the lighting. Nice. I'm curious if there's just gonna be like random sounds throughout, or if it's gonna be like, yeah, but see, hold on, we'll go back a bit. You can see like the zombies. If you look at Those Who Remain, there we go. I keep forgetting the name of it for some reason. But if you like look at Those Who Remain and compare it to these zombies, they look, at least face wise and I think even color wise, they look very similar. They're both like very grayish and very sickly almost, right? Let me see, like, comparison. Yeah, I will say the ones in Those Who Remain are more like the classic Roblox characters, which is like a big thing that differentiates them compared to the BRM5 ones. The BRM5 ones are going to be a lot more animated, which is going to be terrifying, especially if there's variants that like crawl around and stuff. I don't know how many variants are going to be. I don't know what's going to be in there. So far, we're just seeing like the normal runners, or not even runners, but just like the roamers, I guess, if you will. So this is going to be very interesting. They're very like simplified, but that's not an issue. Like they look great. Let's see. and you can hear, I guess that's kind of like the alarm sound. It's like when you make a lot of noise, like you could like summon a horde and then that noise will pop up. Or maybe it's like an alarm of some sort where it's like now they're alerting everyone that you're here kind of thing. Oh, see, okay, hold on. That's what I was wondering. It looked like the bullets were doing a lot more. Maybe it's just because the zombies in a certain stance. Maybe the game's just going on the fritz. I don't know. Okay, no, it was just going to right. Oh, never mind. It's just I couldn't. You see how many, and the thing that's so beautiful is that you're just seeing the eyes. The silhouette of them is crazy work. Look at that. And look how many there are too. Because again, the game right now has been working with like putting in hundreds, or I won't say 100. Well, actually no. Okay, no, not hundreds. I've seen it go up to like well over 100, whatever. I'd say like most I've probably seen it's maybe 125 to 150, somewhere around there. But that's just like normal dudes with assault rifles and stuff. These guys are just like running at you, right? There's no projectiles, no nothing like that. It's just straight hands, like straight hands. That's it. They're just booking it towards you. So they're a lot more simplified compared to the guys we typically fight in open world, right? So this is gonna be very interesting because now that's gonna be a massive. Like that's gonna be a lot of work taken, or a massive load taken off of the system. So now they can use that to increase the amount of enemies that are coming at you. Or right now they have to focus about like all the enemies, like pathfinding and their like what weapons they're using, the randomization of them, all the various details and stuff. And yeah, they still have to do a bit of that with these guys, but they also have to account for the projectiles and so many other details that are going to slow the game down just that little bit more. But with these guys, they're so much more simple where they can spam out way more. And honestly, if they play it right, if they do it right and get the quality right, if they manage to pull off a Days Gone, and what I mean by that is Days Gone, which is a game I really want to play on the channel, by the way. But Days Gone is a fantastic game. Like graphically, like it looks great, and also it's probably one of the best games for illustrating zombies that I've seen in a long time, because they have so much, like the quality of the zombies is to such a crazy level where it's just always going to give you that like dopamine boost, that crazy high that you get from like crazy moments and whatnot. Like you're always going to be just constantly hit with that because the zombies are just to such a top-notch level where like you're going to be hard pressed to find something that's actually like beating it. Like I'd say like even like compared to like Last of Us zombies, the Last of Us zombies are good, don't get me wrong, they're fantastic, but Days Gone, the hordes and the way they interact with the environment, they feel so unnecessarily real, and the way they act makes them seem like they genuinely could easily wipe out the earth. Like it's crazy, especially when you follow along the story. It's fantastic, but it's crazy work. It's crazy work. I love it. But I'm just saying, like, if these guys manage to get the zombies to a level like that, because another thing with Days Gone is they don't use like thousands upon thousands of zombies at one time. Typically, I'd say the biggest horde you're probably gonna find is maybe a little bit over 200, maybe a little bit more than that, right? Which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. But they managed to give them such a nice quality to the point where it feels like you're going against like almost thousands, right? It feels like they never end for a while because okay, I've played Days Gone, but I'm definitely gonna like replay for the channel just because I love the game that much. But like when you fight against those hordes, you have like your bike, you have your weapons, you have your LMGs, you have all these traps you set up. Even after going like running them through like a gauntlet of traps, it still feels like there's so much more, and it's crazy. Like it always feels fantastic going against them. But I'm just saying, like if they get to such a quality where they can manage to make like maybe not use as much, but make the smaller amount that they have feel like each zombie is worth 5 essentially in the mind of the player, that's just gonna make this feel 10 times better. Like it's gonna be crazy work. I'm also curious because like it's gonna have to be like headshot central, because like the damage for limbs and stuff is so, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's really bad in the game. Like you do not do much limb damage at all, at least for most weapons. So it's just gonna be interesting how that's gonna work, because you're gonna have to be a bit more precise, at least compared to like most games and stuff, because usually for most games like zombies, they go down a few shots or whatever, it's not too bad. But in this game, depending on how much health the zombies have, it could be interesting. But I'm assuming they're gonna like lower the health below 100 or something like that for majority of them at least. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm also really curious on the types of zombies you're gonna have. Like there's so many thoughts going through my head right now, but like types of zombies zombies, the health of zombies, and all those other details and whatnot. Like, it's crazy work. But anyway, I'll stop harping on about that. Let me see what else I can find in this video, because there's a lot to go over, and I don't want this video to take like an hour long, but it's definitely going over 10 minutes at the very minimum, probably 20. But anyway, let's go. Like, look at that. They're coming through different alleyways, which is great, but that's so cool. It's so cool. I'm not sure. I know at least the AI can be kind of iffy, especially when it comes to pathfinding for like the normal AI. With the zombie AI, I don't know if they've gotten it better, or they probably have. But I'm just curious as to how good the pathfinding is, right? Because that's a kind of a big issue. This is more open area, so they probably, I would assume they would simplify it to a certain extent to make it a bit easier for the zombies to have to move around. I'm just like, I don't want, something that I don't want to see is like zombies in most zombie games and stuff typically tend to hone on the player, like obviously, right? But what I'd like to see is something that, again, like Days Gone does, which is fantastic, which is they have the zombies flank you frequently. It's not a line of zombies coming directly towards you, it's a wave, right? All the zombies aren't focused on directly you, they're focused on how can they take you down, right? They know they can just run directly towards you and take you down, swipe you and whatever. And of course, a majority of them are going to try that. But you do have, like, let's say 25, like out of, let's say a group of 100, 50% just booking it towards you. But then you have 25 on whatever side of like the massive chunk of the horde splitting off to try and like surround you. And you can feel that because especially when you're in an open environment in Days Gone, you can see them actively try and swarm you. They're not going straight for you, they're going for around you, which is way more dangerous, right? So you focus more on the guys trying to get around you and flank you. I'm hoping they do something like that in this. Because of the alleyways and stuff, they probably don't have to do it as much. But when it comes to like open streets, more so like this, I'd hope that they don't just like funnel into one small line. Because this is also something you can see in like what's it called? Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, or really any of the games, is that they'll pick a target, they'll pick the most efficient path to get to that target, and you can see from the top-down view that they're not going in like a horde towards the target, as you would probably see in real life, but you can see how the AI is just trying to get them there as fast as possible, and that's it, right? I'm hoping that there's a bit more behind the scenes that helps spread out that thin point to a more like a broadhead, you know? That's something I'd really like to see. But anyway, let's see. Let me go through the rest of this. So it doesn't seem like there's any special variants that we see so far, at least. It seems like they're all just kind of like roamers, I'm gonna call them. So nothing too crazy. I don't know. I think he only took like kills one zombie and kind of just spam fires at the rest. This alleyway just looks crazy. Like, look how long that alleyway is. That's cool. I'm really curious, like, how intricate are these buildings going to be? I kind of already touched on this before, but I'm really curious, like, maybe a lot of buildings won't allow you to go to, like, the second, third, fourth story, but I'm wondering how many buildings at least have, like, the first story available. Because it almost looks like the right side, like, it could be, like, a strip mall or something like that. But I'm wondering if it's like a bigger section inside that maybe you can like enter through a door and now you're in like this massive mall kind of area, or like the first floor of a mall sort of thing, right? Where it's just like a ton of like, you know, you have escalators, pillars, columns, all this other stuff on the way, and you just see like the zombies start swarming and climbing around things, going through different little pathways to try and get to you. That'd be so awesome to see. But yeah, this looks fantastic so far. Course. I'm loving the new like outro slash intro video that they have, like this. I love how that looks. It's a public alpha, early June 2025. I hope I'm available for that. I want to play that so bad. That's gonna be cool. I mean, it's probably gonna go for like a week or something, I would assume. Yeah, that's gonna be fantastic. Can't wait. Anyway, I think that's basically all I had to say. Well, I say that, but I'm probably gonna go through it a little bit more again. Again, environmental storytelling. Like, look at that frame. Look at that. Like, hold on, let me just try and get a screenshot of it later. But just like, look at this frame. Like, look, I'll probably like put a screenshot. But, like, it just looks so beautiful. I mean, give the video a like in case you haven't. Both mine and theirs. Mainly theirs, honestly. Well, this is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this is just just great. The environmental storytelling's fantastic. The detail's fantastic. The nighttime looks really cool. The lights and everything. It's just like, look at this. And it's in winter, which is nice. Also gives them a... Actually, it's both like a callback to BRM2, and it's also a good idea because now you have the fog and stuff, right? So it's good for a lot of various reasons. But it also just looks nice. Also, what? Is that just an ice block? I don't even know. I can't remember. I swear that's like an ice block in the game. It's probably something entirely different. I'll see. It's fantastic. I'm in awe. You know, it's so good, especially after so long, seeing all this stuff come to fruition so fast too. It's like they're really trying to make up for everything that they've lost over the years, and I can feel it. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I cannot wait for zombies. Good job, Platinum 5.